Plant anatomy. The objective of this lesson is I can identify plant structures and explain how they help the plant reproduce and interact with pollinators. At this time, you should pause your video very quickly to sketch this image into your notes. It doesn't have to be this detailed, it doesn't have to be beautiful, but a little sketch that shows a plant in the ground with the roots at the very base in the ground, a stem, leaves, flowers, and fruits. We're going to be going through each of these parts in detail. Let's start with the roots. This is the part of the plant that attaches to the ground and soaks up water and nutrients. When you water a plant, you actually put water on the dirt around the plant. Watering the leaves won't help the plant at all because they can't soak up water through the leaves. The water gets soaked up through the roots and brought up the stem. Here we can see that these roots are helping hold the plant in place. The roots wrap around the soil to hold the plant in place so it can't get washed away by wind or water. These roots also help keep soil from eroding. So these tree roots are help holding the soil in place. So if there's a rainstorm or if it's really windy, not all of this soil falls into the river, which is called erosion. The stem is the main body of the plant above the ground. This supports the plant. The stem holds up the leaves, the fruits, and the flower. And the stem also transfers that water and nutrients that the plant soaked up through the ground up to all the other plant parts. In a tree, the stem is the trunk. If we were to look at the inside of a stem, if we were to cut a cross-section, a little coin piece out of the stem, we would see a series of tubes. These tubes are called xylem and phloem, and they are tubes that run up and down the plant so that water and nutrients can make it all the way from the roots up to the very top leaves. Speaking of leaves, the leaf is the structure that can convert sun energy into food through photosynthesis. We learned about photosynthesis in our cells unit. What makes this leaf green is it's full of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is in the chloroplast, which can take in carbon dioxide and turn that into glucose, oxygen, and water. Glucose is a sugar. That's the food that the plant needs to survive. A flower is the reproductive organ of a plant. It has both male and female parts, which we're going to learn about later. Flowers are also showy colors and shapes that help attract pollinators like this bee. When this bee comes to the plant to eat, it transfers pollen from the male parts of the plant to the female parts of the plant. This is going to help fertilize the flower's eggs so it can make seeds, which are plant babies. Now, when that bee pollinates the flower will start becoming a fruit. So the bee gets pollen from the male part of the plant to the female part of the plant, and then the petals start to fall off, while the base of the flower, which is called the ovary, starts to swell into a fruit. So if we look at this cross-section of a flower and a fruit, we will see very similar structures. Inside this flower is how the ovary originally looked. The ovary was small and it was full of seeds. As the fruit grew, now we see the whole fruit is just the ovary of the plant swollen up. It's still got the seeds inside. The fruits are the ripened ovary around seeds. This fruit protects the seeds while they're developing, and aids in their dispersal by attracting animals. Fruits taste good and are brightly colored to attract plant animals like this bird to come and eat them. When they eat the fruit and then walk away or fly away, they're helping spread the seeds. And once that bird is done with the fruit and passes it, it's going to look a little like this. Seeds are actually designed to make it all the way through the digestive tract of an animal and then be, well, let's say, pooped out and fertilized for a brand new plant. There are other ways seeds can be dispersed. Different plants have different shaped seeds for different seed dispersal. So we just talked about how animals like to eat the fruits and spread out the seeds that way. There are also seeds like burdocks, which can get stuck into the fur or feathers of an animal to spread them. Here we see different seeds designed to travel on the wind, like these puffs and these helicopters, which we called them when I was little. Some plants actually, their ovary pops open and springs the seeds out. And some plants, like the coconut, drop their fruits into the water so the water can wash them away downstream to another place. Humans, we take care of our kids and then we send them off to college. They get their own life and their own jobs. Well, plant parents send their seeds off to blow away or fly away or be washed downstream, be carried on an animal, off to live in another area and start its own life.